Are you struggling with the admin side of your business? Well, I'm here at HSM Components to find out why Steve chose PSL Datatrack to sort it out. So, Steve, you've got a really nice looking shop, but how did it all start?
Well, I started a few years ago and I got into a bit of difficulty and got into a bit of debt, so I went doing contracting work and carried on running the business, but unfortunately during the COVID pandemic that contracting work came to an end, so I suddenly found that I'm going into business full time then.
Well, what was one of the biggest worries when you went out on your own?
Well, the first thing that I wanted to do was take care of the admin side of things, because I was using Microsoft Word for everything and it wasn't really very good, you know, so I needed some kind of software system that catered for everything, did all my quotes, invoices, purchase orders, delivery notes, everything, and tied it all together for traceability purposes.
So, out of all the softwares on the market, which one did you actually go with and why?
Well, I went with PSL Datatrack, and the biggest reason is through watching your videos on YouTube, you see that there's a lot of other companies out there that are using it, so it makes you think, well, it must be reasonably good if they're all using it. If it wasn't good, no one would use it. So, and a lot of them are quite big companies and they have it, so yeah, it seemed like a good choice. So I rang them up and spoke to Jeff, got some prices, and everything seemed okay with it, so yeah, I gave it a try. Yeah.
And just going on from prices, because obviously any sort of software is a big expense.
Yeah.
And you've just started out on your own. So how did PSL help you with buying it?
Well, I could do it through monthly repayments through Prospect Systems themselves, not through a finance company. It was a better way for me because it's more manageable. Instead of having that big lump sum payout that you've then got to recover from, I could pay for it each month, and it was flexible, so I could pay it off at some point without any penalties, and it allowed me to get the software, start using it, but not have that big financial hit. So it was quite good really in that respect.
And what have been some of like the top points in using it? Because I know we spoke before about how you can just click and you can have all your bars set, so like your cycle times, and you can just click and drag them across. Yeah,
you have what they call a cost center in the software, and you can set up all of your costing in that. So like your setup time for putting tools in the machine, programming either on the machine or offline, and you can drag that through into the quote. And if you want to change the time, like something might take 2 hours to program, another job that's easier might only take half an hour. So you can alter it then, but you're literally dragging it all through into the quote, and then you put your CNC runtime, and you might give it 10 minutes each part. Well, if you're making 50 parts, it works it all out then, and at the end you've got your price for your quote.
Because I know we spoke before and there was something you said that really resonated with me, was before you had it, you were finding that you weren't quoting enough because you were forgetting the run times and the setup times.
Yeah, I was missing that. That was the first thing that I noticed, is when I put a quote together for a job, if I won that job and then did it, I'd give the invoice to the customer and I think, well, I've lost a bit on that because it's taken me a lot longer than what I quoted for. But then when I get PSL Datatrack, you're starting to include all of those costs for your setup time, your programming and everything else.
And essentially I'm guessing it's making you more money because you're spending less time in the office and more time on the machine. Yeah,
well, when I do win jobs now that I've quoted for, I'm getting more for them because it's more efficient, and like you say, I'm spending less time in the office doing all of that work and more time in the workshop if I can.
And I know you said you found PSL thinking, well, wait a minute, if you've seen the videos we've done and if all these big companies have got it, so did that ever deter you from it? Because obviously you're a one-man guy with a very impressive workshop who's actually made it now where you're actually looking for staff as well.
Yeah.
Did it deter you at all thinking, God, if the big guys have got it, it must be expensive? Or was that just confidence to say, well, if they've got it, it's going to be good enough for me?
No, I went for it really with the sole purpose of making all of that side of things more efficient. So, like I say, you spend less time doing that, because if the business is going to grow, I don't really want to be sat in the office on the computer all day long. I want to be in the workshop. So
Well, that's where the fun happens,
it
isn't it?
is, yeah.
So, if there's somebody out there watching this video, same as you did, who
Yeah.
thinks, oh, it might be a bit expensive, or what would you say to somebody now you've actually got it fully implemented into your
Just do
business?
it. Just get it and do it. I mean, for me, the fact that I could do it on finance was the key, really, because it's allowed me to get the software, start using it, but not have that big payout. I can pay for it as and when I go along. So just do it, I would say, and it's worth it.